it's not uncommon for us human beings to put certain things off. Maybe certain projects, maybe certain next steps in business or in trading or in relationships or in your health and fitness or in any of the areas of life. We can get to a scenario or a situation where we know we want to take the next step, but we're putting it off, or we're putting off getting started on a particular thing. And I wanted this video to be a little bit of a kick in the ass if that's a scenario for you. Also wanted to give you some insights on this. There's a beauty in getting started with things, because if we're as good as we think we are in our head leading up to getting started, we're going to have ultimately a level of success with the thing we want to get started on. But if we're not, and we're not quite as good as the fantasy we're projecting in our head about that thing we want to get started, that project we want to do, we're going to get necessary feedback from either the marketplace, from the market itself, or from ourselves to go in there and make refinements to that particular thing we want to get started on. And that ultimately is going to help us refine and improve and come back bigger and stronger, better and stronger, and ultimately help us get to where it is we would love to get to. So there's truly, in my opinion, a beauty in getting started. And there's really, if you know deep down you want to do something, there's really no point overthinking it and thinking, should I get started, should I not get started? Just start with what you know, and you'll get the feedback as you go on, and you'll make refinements. So start with what you know and let that grow. There's a beautiful analogy in one of Rolf Debelly's books where he talks about a flight path from one city to another. Let's say Sydney to Hong Kong or Singapore, for example. That plane has a certain flight path, and the question he poses is, how often does that plane stay on the specific flight path? And the answer is 0% of the time. The plane is constantly falling off path on its journey, but the pilot needs to make necessary refinements and necessary adjustments to keep it on track. So he uses that as a little bit of an analogy for when you're going off for a particular target. You're going to be moving in the general idea or the general direction of that target, but there's always going to be certain things that we're unaccounted for, or certain feedbacks we're going to get, and we correct and make adjustments based on that so we can stay on track. So I truly believe that getting started is the crucial step. Mark Twain said that the way to get ahead is to get started. And the way to get started is to break the overwhelming, large, complex tasks into bite-sized, achievable, daily, high-priority action steps, and just get started on the first one. And like I've spoken about in previous videos, identifying that highest priority action, executing that on a daily basis, and building momentum towards your objective or towards your goals is incredibly powerful. So hopefully this was insightful, and if you're putting something off that you know you would love to do, maybe this is a source of fire kicking your ass to get started.